Hare Krishna, dear devotees, my humble obeisances to you all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for joining His Holiness Chandramauli Swami Maharaj's daily class. Today we are continuing with Srimad Bhagavatam, second canto, 7th chapter, verse number 9. And we have Hare Krishna Sridevi Mataji to give class. Hare Krishna Mataji, my humble obeisances to you, all glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much, Mataji, for your time and association. Even though you are very busy, you gave us time again today. Thank you so much. You can please take over, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Can you give me, do I have screen share so that
Yes,
I can...
Mataji, you joined as co-host only, so...
Okay, good. Okay, thank you. So, my humble obeisances to you, my dear Srimati, and to all the assembled Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. My humble request to all the Vaishnavas, my heartfelt request is that you please give me your blessings, pray for me so that I'm able to do justice to this service that has been given to me today. Because as Srimati said, it's not easy. And I'm sure you would have preferred to have Guru Maharaj or someone else. But since there's nobody else to do it, I agreed with Srimati. So please forgive me for being so presumptuous as to think that I can do it again. But unless I have your mercy, I can't. So that is why my humble request to you to please pray for me. Thank you. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tyato Jayamudiraye Nashtaprayeshva Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. So, as Srimati said, we are on Canto 2, Chapter 7, verse number 9, the scheduled incarnations of the Lord. And we will see here the story of King Vena and King Prithu actually. Yadvenam utpatagatam dvijavakya vajra nishplushta paurusha bhagam niraye patantam Tratvatito jagati putra padam chalebhe dugdha vasuni vasudha sakalani yena. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Maharaj Vena went astray from the path of righteousness, and the Brahmanas chastised him by the thunderbolt curse. By this, King Vena was burnt with his good deeds and opulence and was en route to hell. The Lord, by his causeless mercy, descended as his son, by the name of Prithu, delivered the condemned King Vena from hell, and exploited the earth by drawing all kinds of crops as produce. Purport. According to the system of Varnashram Dharma, the pious and learned Brahmanas were the natural guardians of society. The Brahmanas, by their learned labor of love, would instruct the administrator kings how to rule the country in complete righteousness, and thus the process would go on as a perfect welfare state. The kings or the Kshatriya administrators would always consult the council of learned Brahmanas. They were never autocratic monarchs. The scriptures like Manu Samhita and other authorized books of the great sages were guiding principles for ruling the subjects, and there was no need for less intelligent persons to manufacture a code of law in the name of democracy. The less intelligent mass of people have very little knowledge of their own welfare, as a child has very little knowledge of its future well-being. The experienced father guides the innocent child towards the path of progress, and the childlike mass of people need similar guidance. The standard welfare codes are already there in the Manu Samhita and other Vedic literatures. The learned Brahmanas would advise the king in terms of those standard books of knowledge and with reference to the particular situation of time and place. Such Brahmanas were not paid servants of the king, and therefore they had the strength to dictate to the king on the principles of scriptures. This system continued even up to the time of Maharaj Chandragupta, and the Brahmana Chanakya was his unpaid prime minister. Maharaj Vena did not adhere to this principle of ruling, and he disobeyed the learned Brahmanas. The broad-minded Brahmanas were not self-interested, but looked to the interest of complete welfare for all the subjects. They wanted to chastise King Vena for his misconduct, and so prayed to the Almighty Lord as well as cursed the king. Long life, obedience, good reputation, righteousness, prospects of being promoted to higher planets, and blessings of great personalities are all vanquished simply by disobedience to a great soul. One should strictly try to follow in the footsteps of great souls. Maharaj Vena became a king, undoubtedly due to his past deeds of righteousness. But because he willfully neglected the great souls, he was punished by the loss of all the above mentioned acquisitions. In the Vaman Puran, the history of Maharaj Vena and his degradation are fully described. When Maharaj Prithu heard about the hellish condition of his father Vena, who was suffering from leprosy in the family of Amlecha, he at once brought the former king to Kurukshetra for his purification and relieved him of all sufferings. Maharaj Prithu, the incarnation of God, descended by the prayer of the Brahmanas to rectify the disorders on earth. He produced all kinds of crops, but at the same time, he performed the duty of a son who delivers his father from hellish conditions. The word putra means one who delivers from hell, called put. That is a worthy son. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तां सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजना सहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान् सहगणा ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितंश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये नमः ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते चंद्रमौली स्वामिनीति नामिने नमः ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिनीति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यादेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So we see over here that King Vena was a very... Okay, please mute yourself, Devi. Okay, I muted you. We went astray from the path of righteousness, and what did the Brahmanas do? They actually finished him off by mantras. This is the power of the Brahmanas. The Brahmanas are the highest intelligent class of society, and their only interest is the welfare of the people. They themselves are not kings or administrators, but because they know the scriptures so well, they guide the king by their instructions on how to govern, how to do the different activities, etc. And the administrator kings would, in obedience to the Brahmana class, in fact, the king never bowed down before anyone. But when a very saintly personality, a sage or a muni would come, the king would personally get up from his throne, walk all the way up to the guest, the saintly guest, invite him in, give him a seat of honor, personally wash his feet, and honor him like that. So you can imagine how much the kings were in respect of the great sages and the great munis, the great saints, etc. Why? Because these Brahmanas were not self-interested, as it is mentioned over here. They were simply interested in the welfare of the people, and their only seva was to help the king, instruct the king, guide the king, as to how to govern nicely so that everyone can progress on the path of Krishna consciousness. As it is explained here, most of the people are very innocent, very simple. They don't have so much intelligence. The large mass of people are very simple. And so therefore they need guidance. Evam para, just before Evam Parapara, that means 4:1, let me take you there. There it is said that the saintly kings, their duty was to see to it that the citizens had everything they needed materially and spiritually so that they could progress nicely on the path of Krishna consciousness. Okay, I will just explain this to you. Evam parampara praptam imam rajarshyo vidu sakale neha mahata yogo nashta parantapa. This supreme science was thus received to the chain of disciplic succession, and the saintly kings understood it in that way. But in course of time, the succession was broken, and therefore the science as it is appears to be lost. And over here, in the very first line, you can see the duty of saintly kings. It is clearly stated that the Gita was especially meant for the saintly kings because they were to execute its purpose in ruling over the citizens. Certainly, Bhagavad Gita was never meant for demonic persons who would dissipate its value for no one's benefit and would devise all types of interpretations according to personal whims. And we see this happening today. As soon as the original purpose was scattered by the motives of unscrupulous commentators, there arose the need to re-establish the disciplic succession. 5,000 years ago, it was detected by the Lord himself that the disciplic succession was broken, and therefore he declared that the purpose of the Gita appeared to be lost. In the same way, at the present moment, there are also many editions of the Gita, but almost all of them are not according to authorized disciplic succession. There are innumerable interpretations, but they all do not accept the Supreme Personality of Godhead, although they make a good business on the words of Krishna. This spirit is demonic because demons do not believe in God, but simply enjoy the property of the Supreme. And then Prabhupada says, this is why he wrote Bhagavad Gita as it is. So you see what an important duty the kings have. It is the king's duty to learn how to administer nicely so that everyone can progress in the science of Krishna consciousness. They were never autocratic monarchs. What is the meaning of autocrat? Autocrat means one who doesn't care for anyone or anything and rules in a high-handed, arrogant, independent manner, independent of scriptures, independent of the advice of brahmanas, independent of the council of ministers. This is not the way to rule. And democracy, which is the situation today by a bunch of Vaishyas or Shudras, is not giving us anything except chaos and turbulence. Therefore, Prabhupada said, I have come to give you a head because society has no brains right now, no head right now. It is a headless society. That's what Prabhupada said. I have come to give you a head. I have come to teach you and make you into brahmanas so that you can lead society nicely. That is how we have all these wonderful books, and we have so many wonderful, first generation of Srila Prabhupada's disciples who are carrying on this movement and who are teaching us what is to be done, what is not to be done, how the Supreme Personality of Godhead is to be worshipped, how Sankirtan Yagya is to be carried out, how book distribution is to happen, how Prasadam distribution to be carried out, how to interact with the public. Everything we know because of Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. And Srila Prabhupada said, my books will be the law books for the next 10,000 years. That is how powerful Prabhupada's books are, because Prabhupada said, I have not written these books. Krishna dictated and I just wrote down. They have been written by Krishna. So Prabhupada would read his own books himself. Sometimes the devotees would see Prabhupada, and they would think, but he is reading the books. Why is he reading them? And they asked. And Prabhupada said, but I have not written these books. Krishna has written them. So Prabhupada's pen has fire in it, which will destroy the ignorance of this whole world through pure transcendental knowledge. So how would the learned ministers advise the king on important matters? They would refer to the Shastra. They would refer to the guiding books so that they could give the best possible advice to the king, and therefore best possible welfare activities would happen for the citizens. The standard welfare codes are already there in Manu Samhita. Now, these Brahmanas, they were very simple. They didn't need much opulence because Brahmana's wealth is his austerity. I'll repeat that. A Brahmana's wealth is his austerity. Brahmanas are not interested in money. Why? Because they just live by charity. They just live by giving knowledge to others, and they have no time to work, make their livelihood, etc. So society would maintain them knowing that they are so important for the welfare of society. So whatever alms they got, whatever charity they got, they would be happy with that. And that was that. And if they got excess, they would give it also. Yajan, 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 Pathan, Dana Pratigraha. That means to teach how to worship the Lord and to worship the Lord, to teach scriptures, to learn scriptures, study scriptures, and to give dan, that means charity, to accept charity. These are the activities of Brahmanas. What are the activities of Kshatriyas, the kings? They are very organized, they can manage well, they are diplomats, they are very valorous, heroism, determination, bravery, generosity, leadership. These are the qualities of the Kshatriya class. The qualities of the Vaishya class are to make money. They're very good at making money. It's in their blood. The Marwadis are famous for this, right? Sindhis, Marwadis, certain North Indians, they are noted for this ability to make money. They are the Vaishyas. And their duties are cow protection, trading, agriculture, and banking. These are the 4 activities. Shudras are simply the laborer class because they have good physical strength but not much intelligence. They are simply hired to do labor, and they are very faithful to their masters, and the masters in turn take care of them nicely so that all their needs are met. So this way, the 4 classes of society would cooperate with one another so that there was harmony, so that there was peace and harmony, and everybody got what they needed. At the same time, they progressed spiritually also. This is how a body functions, right? You have hands, you have legs, you have a stomach, you have a head, and that's how the whole body functions. But without a head, the body is not even alive. Without a hand and leg, you can still live. But without a head, there is no life. The body is dead body. So Prabhupada therefore said, I have come to give you a head. That means I have come to make some Brahmanas who will teach society the goal of life. And it is thanks to Prabhupada that we know what is the goal of life. We know who we really are. We know who is God. We know what is our relationship. And we know what is to be done and what is not to be done. Without Prabhupada, where would we be? यदि प्रभुपाद न होइतो तबे की होइतो ए जीवन बहित किसे निताय गौरेर अपार करुणा के दीते सकल देशे यदि प्रभुपाद न होइतो तबे की होइतो ए जीवन बहित किसे. His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj, he has written this beautiful song in praise of Prabhupada. What if Prabhupada had not come? What would have happened to us? How would our lives have gone? Who would have given this limitless mercy of Gaurachandra and Nityananda to the whole world? Who would have given us Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam? Who would have taught us Harinam Sankirtan? Who would have taught us how to make prasadam and distribute prasadam? So like this, Prabhupada, in praise of Prabhupada, who would have taught us all these festivals, who would have taught us about the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is only because of Prabhupada. We owe our complete life, our spiritual life and material life to Prabhupada, because without spiritual life, we wouldn't even probably have a material life. So we owe everything to Srila Prabhupada. It is by his mercy that we are all even over here. discussing the Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay. Such Brahmanas were not paid servants of the king, and therefore they had the strength to dictate to the king on the principles of scriptures. Now, this Chanakya Pandit is a very famous minister in the court of King Chandragupta. When Chandragupta offered to make a beautiful palace for him, Chanakya Pandit said, I'm not interested. I will live in a little hut on the bank of a river, and that is enough for me. And that's how he lived. He lived very, very simply on the banks of the river, but he was giving advice to the king, and that is how Chandragupta Maurya. His rule is known to be superlative in all ways. Very famous king. And Chanakya Pandit also is a very famous minister. He has written Niti Shastra, how to rule the kingdom, Chanakya Pandit. And Srila Prabhupada would often quote Chanakya Pandit because Chanakya Pandit had so many wise sayings, and Prabhupada would quote him. Now, we come to Maharaj Vena. Now, who is Maharaj Vena? He was a very mischievous, very demoniac king, and he disobeyed the Brahmanas. He was so cruel, he was so severe that when he ascended the throne, the only thing good that came out of it was all the thieves and rogues and plunderers. They went and hid because they knew that he would come after them. He was so cruel. But the thing is, he wanted everyone to worship him as though he is the Supreme Lord. So he ordered everybody to stop their puja, stop their sacrifices to the Lord, and give everything to him. And when the sages found that his rule was becoming worse and worse and worse and worse, they first approached him with sweet words and tried to get him to rectify his ways. Said, my dear king, you are in a very nice position to do some good welfare activity for the citizen. It is not right that you should do these things. So in very sweet words, in a very nice way, they were giving advice to the king. And what did the king say? You are very basically unlearned. You're unintelligent. You don't know what you're talking about. I am the king, and therefore I am to be worshipped, and you don't know what you're doing, that kind of thing. So the Brahmanas got so angry, they cursed him, and they said, kill him, kill him. And but by the power of their mantras, they killed King Vena. But now after killing King Vena, the state still needs a ruler, right? What can they do? They need to have a ruler. So then they churned the body of King Vena. From his thighs came a little dwarf. Then they churned again, and from his arms came King Prithu. And King Prithu is none other than the personality of Godhead who ruled the kingdom very wisely, very nicely, and therefore the citizens prospered. In fact, King Prithu is famous for Archanam, the 9 processes of devotional service. Each one has a person who is very famous for it. Shravanam is King Parikshit, Kirtanam is Shukadev Goswami, Smaranam is Prahlad Maharaj, Padasevan is Goddess Lakshmi, Vandanam is accrued Prithu Maharaj for Archanam, Vandanam. Dasyam is Hanumanji, Sakhyam is Arjuna, Atmanivedanan is King Bali Maharaj. So King Prithu is very famous for Archanam. He was doing very gorgeous deity worship, and he was teaching by example. He was married to Queen Archi. Now, here it is said, one must follow in the footsteps of great souls. King Vena became king due to his past good deeds, but then because he willfully neglected all the rules of Shastra, all the great saintly personalities who were trying to give him good advice, he was lost. This is what happens when power goes to one's head. One becomes blinded by one's own power, and they say, whom the gods want to destroy, they first make mad with power. Because sooner or later, they do such ghastly, horrible deeds and bring about their own destruction. So one must never get blinded by whatever one has, because that has come from the Lord and is meant to be used in his service. One must not think, now I'm so great. I'm the controller. I'm the enjoyer. I'm the proprietor of everything. because that means madness has set in. One is an illusion because the only person who is controller, enjoyer, owner is Krishna. But still, because King Prithu was such a righteous king and such a noble son, when he found out his father was suffering, he relieved him from all suffering by making sure that his soul was relieved of all the contamination of sinful activities. And this is why it is said that a righteous son delivers his father from hellish conditions. This is why Pindadan is necessary, Shraddha ceremony is done in a simple way, so that the forefathers can be relieved of all sinful activities and the soul is released from the cycle of birth and death, and one can go back home, back to Godhead, which is the very purpose of human life. So Maharaj Veena was a very cruel king. He was so cruel that even as a child, he would kill his fellow friends. He was that cruel. Very, very cruel personality. The power of the Brahmanas, one must see. I'll just share with you. Let me see if I can share. Yeah. Here is chapter 14 of the 4th canto. I think you can see. It was already known that Vena was very severe and cruel. Therefore, as soon as all the thieves and rogues heard, they became very much afraid. They hid themselves here and there. And then, when he ascended to the throne, he became all powerful, but he became blind and caused great disturbance in his kingdom. All the twice-born Brahmanas were forbidden to perform sacrifice. They were forbidden to give charity or offer ghee. And therefore, he stopped all kinds of religious rituals. Then, the Brahmanas concluded that a great danger and catastrophe was approaching. So then they began to consult one another. They saw people were in a dangerous position, and there was an irresponsible king on one side and thieves and rogues on the other. So thinking to save the state, they considered it a political crisis. But because he was a king, they still decided to give him a chance. Concealing their real anger, they pacified him with sweet words and then spoke as follows. Dear king, we have come to give you good advice. Kindly hear us with great attention. By doing so, your duration of life, your opulent strength and reputation will increase. Those who live according to religious principles and who follow them by words, mind, body, and intelligence are elevated to the heavenly kingdom, which is devoid of all miseries. Being thus rid of material influence, they achieve unlimited happiness in life. O great hero, you should not be the cause of spoiling the spiritual life of the general populace. See, this is the worry of the Brahmanas. If their spiritual life is spoiled because of your activities, you will certainly fall down from your opulent and royal position. The saintly persons continued, when the king protects the citizens from the disturbance of mischievous ministers, as well as from thieves and rogues, then he can accept taxes. So he must perform his duties, then only he can accept taxes. Today, who is performing their duties? But they tax us to death. So this is very demoniac mentality because they fill their pockets with taxpayers' money and they don't perform any welfare activities for the citizen. So like this, they try to pacify him with sweet words. But you know what king replied? You are not at all experienced. It is very much regrettable that you're maintaining something which is not religious and accepting as religious. I think you're giving up your real husband and searching after some paramour. And then he declares that all these demigods, etc., they all abide in me, in the body of the king. So the king is known as reservoir of all demigods who are simply parts and parcels of the king's body. So you Brahmanas abandon your envy of me by your ritualist activities. You offer me, worship me and offer me all paraphernalia. If you are intelligent, you should know there's no personality superior to me who can accept the first oblations of all sacrifices. So you see how bereft of knowledge, befooled by his own power, he has become unintelligent and he is thinking he is God. Then they become very angry. They say, kill him, kill him, kill him. He's the most dreadful, sinful person. If he lives, he will certainly turn the whole world into ashes. This impious, impudent man does not deserve to sit on the throne. He is so shameless that he even dared to insult the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu. So then, when they decided to kill him, they, without using any weapons, by the power of mantras, the king Vena was finished. This is the power of Brahmanas. Their curses are very, very powerful and they take effect immediately. But nowadays, of course, we don't have so much qualified Brahmanas, but we are talking about those olden days where the Brahmanas were very pure-hearted souls and their only concern was welfare of citizens. Now, in today's world, we will rarely find righteous leaders or righteous people because everything is influence of Kali Yuga. Therefore, Prabhupada said, this Krishna consciousness movement is building the character of people, is transforming people's lives and bringing them to the mode of goodness where they can understand what is what and not only help themselves but help others. Therefore, this Krishna consciousness movement is the highest welfare activity, and each and every member of the Hare Krishna movement is doing a tremendous service simply by being a Hare Krishna and then sharing Krishna consciousness with others, because this is the real welfare activity which will bring about real peace and happiness in society. Okay, we will stop there and we will open up for questions and comments. I'll put stop share and we can open up for questions. Welcome everyone. Srimati is a little busy. She has asked me to take over this part also. If you will kindly put on your video cameras so I can see you, that will be very nice. And of course, you're welcome to ask questions or to share your realizations, and we can have a nice discussion like we had yesterday. There are many people online. I see Balaji, I see Dheeraj Prabhu, I see Madhu, then Devi, Bonnie, Pavni, Revati, Somedatri, Gauripriya, Sakshi, Shibati, all of you are there. So we can have a nice discussion. And we see Gunjan Maske. Welcome, Gunjan. Happy to have you on this call. Please tell us where you're from.
Mataji, I'm from Bhopal, Madhya Pradesh.
Hare Krishna. Welcome, Gunjan ji. Thank you for
Nice
joining
to
us.
meet you. Thank you, ma'am. This is my first class, Mataji.
Yes, I was happy to see you. I was thinking, oh wow, Guru Maharaj's classes are attracting more and more and more people because of the nectar.
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah. Of course, I know it's a little disappointing. Guru Maharaj is not there, but he will be there tomorrow. So please join again tomorrow.
Sure, Mataji.
How did you come to know about these classes?
To WhatsApp group, Mataji.
Okay, very wonderful. I'm so happy to find you here.
Yes.
Okay, we have Devi Mataji. Please go ahead, Devi.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj.
Please accept my humble obeisances too. All glories to Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj.
Hare Krishna. So, like for Varnashrama Dharma, like the neophyte devotees and the pure devotees, like do they need to like follow that? In
Good
some
question.
books I read like we have to follow, and sometime I read like Sarvadharman Parityaja, like Krishna says, right? So like
Yes,
maybe
very,
pure devotees they don't need to follow. So I was a little confused.
very good question. Devotee is above the rules of Varnashram. That is true, because he is fully engaged in the service of the Lord. He can perform any function, anything that the Lord, but that is a very high exalted stage. That's not so easily doable for the vast majority of the population, which is still struggling just to come to human form of life from a very degraded life. Therefore, Prabhupada said Varnashram must be instituted so that people can gradually understand the value of Krishna consciousness, start practicing Krishna consciousness. In the beginning, Prabhupada said, you forget all this. Society is too topsy-turvy. People cannot understand anything, just chant Hare Krishna. But when he found so many falling down, he said, if this chanting is so easy, why are so many people falling down? So therefore, we must have Varnashram. And of course, in the end, he wanted Varnashram to be established. This is for the general mass of people so that society can be organized nicely. Everyone knows what they are supposed to do and society functions smoothly. That is why Varnashram is important. But devotee is above Varnashram because he is engaged in the service of the Lord. That is correct. You cannot say, you cannot do deity worship because you come from, tribal family, or somebody cannot do business because they are not from the Vaishya family. It's not like that. According to our qualifications, that shows up. The spiritual master knows how to guide the disciple according to his nature. Some person may be born in a Brahmana family, but his tendencies may be more like a Vaishya. So then he is not actually a Brahmana, he is a Vaishya. So he should be trained in that way. That's why Prabhupada wanted Varnashram college. On the other hand, someone may be born in a Shudra family, but he will have tendencies to study, to read, uninterested, in running after money, etc. That person has Brahminical qualification. So he should be trained as a Brahmana. So caste system had become very rigid at one point, but Lord Chaitanya said it is not by birth, but by qualification. Bhakti Siddhanta Maharaj also said the same thing. And Srila Prabhupada, of course, explained that we need this system only to organize human society. Krishna himself says, Chaturvarnyam maya shrishtam guna karma vibhagashaha. Let's go to that. It is not Canto, Bhagavad Gita chapter 4, verse number 13, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just pull it up for you. So Krishna himself has given this system based on the various propensities of different people because he has made us. He knows what we are like. Yeah. Chaturvanyam maya shrishtam guna karma vibhagashaha tasya kartaram apimam vidya kartaram avyayam. According to the three modes of material nature and the work associated with them, the four divisions of human society are created by me. And although I am the creator of this system, you should know that I am yet the non-doer, being unchangeable. Okay. So therefore, he is the creator of the four divisions of the social order. Can you see this highlighting? Beginning with the intelligent class of men, technically called Brahmanas, then administrative class called Kshatriyas.
Krishna Mataji, you are not sharing.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Thank you for the reminder. Okay, I pulled it up and I started talking, but I didn't share. See, that's why I need Srimati. Okay, so can everyone see now?
Yes, Mataji.
Yes.
Okay, so see here. He is therefore the creator of the social order, beginning with the intelligent class of men technically called Brahmanas. Next is the administrative class called Kshatriyas. Mercantile men are called Vaishyas and Shudras are the laborer class. Okay, so human society is similar to animal society, but to elevate men from the animal status to the human status, the above mentioned divisions are created by the Lord for the systematic development of Krishna consciousness. The tendency of a particular man towards work is determined by the modes of nature which he has acquired. Such symptoms of life are described in 18th chapter. A person in Krishna consciousness, however, is even above the Brahmanas. Although Brahmanas by quality are supposed to know about Brahman, most of them approach only the impersonal Brahman manifestation. But a man who transcends the limited knowledge of a Brahmana, reaches the knowledge of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Shri Krishna, becomes a person in Krishna consciousness, or in other words, a Vaishnava. You see? So Krishna consciousness is transcendental. And as Krishna is transcendental to this system, a person in Krishna consciousness is also transcendental to all divisions of human society, whether we consider divisions of community, nation, or species. So, you are absolutely correct. Vaishnav is above even all these classes. Vaishnav is directly engaged in Krishna consciousness, and therefore he is above Varnashram.
Yes, Mother. Thank you very much, Mother, for clarification.
Nice question. Thank you, Devi. Very nice question. Anything else? Wow, what a beautiful picture of Madan Gopal. Madan Gopal, we are very happy to have darshan of Madan Gopal, but it will also be nice to see you. Hare Krishna, Revati, you want to ask a question?
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Sorry, Mataji, I joined a little late, but I can last 10 minutes I could understand, like, the false pride in Veena that made him disrespectful to the great personalities, right? So even it's so difficult, like, for us also, we have that pride always, it comes in. So we have to constantly check in that pride. So how can we be like completely free of pride? Is it possible?
Okay. Yeah, so it is a very challenging thing, especially as we progress in Krishna consciousness. Sometimes we may have been given some responsibilities. We may become, temple commander, temple chief, temple head, temple this, temple that, and we may think, oh, now I've become a big man or a big woman. But actually, Krishna has given you that position because he is seeing that you're capable of some responsibility. So that position is coming by Krishna's mercy. And that power to carry out the duties is also coming by Krishna's mercy. We cannot do anything on our own. So constantly being humble that, my dear Lord, I cannot even take the next breath without your sanction, because not even a blade of grass moves without the sanction of the Lord, right? So if Krishna doesn't allow, you cannot even take your next breath. So we are so helplessly dependent on the Lord. We are so small. 1/10,000 the tip of a hair. You cannot even see my size. I'm that small. Huh? What is there to be proud about? Isn't it? We are
Yes.
really so tiny as to be invisible. You cannot see the soul. That's actually the real me. So when I'm so tiny, I'm so small, I'm so prone to be carried away by the material energy, all the more we must become humble and say, my dear Lord, please help me remember you, because without you, I am lost. So no matter what position we might get, you might become president of USA also, but that position has come because Krishna wants you in that position. And therefore, he wants you to do something for him through that position. So there is no question of pride, because we are just servant. Whether we are temple commander or we are the sweeper on the street, qualitatively, service to the Lord is the same. That service that the janitor or the sweeper is doing is as dear to Krishna as what the CEO, president, is that whatever is doing. They just have different positions, but the service is the same, because it is service to the Supreme Lord. So when we remember that whatever we have has simply come by his mercy, and Krishna can take it away too, like he did to Arjuna. After the battle of Kurukshetra was over and Arjuna had to fight, suddenly all his powers were withdrawn when the wives were being stolen. You remember when Krishna's wives were being stolen away, and then Arjuna is saying, my Gandiva bow is no use, my prowess on the battlefield which impressed so many, now where it has gone, Krishna has taken away my powers. So any moment, Krishna can take away our power. Any moment. It is his choice. So we are so helpless. We're completely dependent on the mercy of the Lord, and that alone should keep us humble. Constantly praying, my dear Lord, I'm simply your servant. Please help me to carry out this duty, this responsibility. Even Brahma prayed, remember? He prays to Krishna, saying, please do not allow me to become proud just because I have been given this big responsibility of creation. So, when such great personalities are praying like that, what to speak of us? We are so tiny. We are like little ants. We can guard against pride by Trinadapi Sunechena Taroriva Sahishtuna Amanina Manadena Kirtaniya Sadahari. One should chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than the straw in the street. One should be more tolerant than a tree, completely devoid of all false prestige, and ready to offer all respects to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So that will constantly remind us, I am nothing but a servant. I am just a servant. And whatever powers I have to speak, to write, to paint, to sing, to dance, to cook, to teach, whatever, it's coming from Krishna. Any moment he can take it away. So that will keep us humble.
Yeah, beautiful, Mataji. So everything is given by Guru and Krishna, so we should have that always.
Yes.
That
And also, pride goes before a fall. What happens when we become little proud? Then we expect a lot of respect from others. When that doesn't come, we feel disappointed. When we feel disappointed, we react. We say something, we do something. Then we make offenses. Finish. Once we make offenses, oh my Krishna. We pay a heavy price for making offenses because then we cannot chant, we cannot do anything. Our sadhana is affected. We have to make amends. We have to fall at the feet of that Vaishnava, beg for his mercy or her mercy. So many bad things happen when we make offenses. And that comes from pride. So we must really guard against pride.
Yeah, very nice, Mataji. So everything is like connected.
Connected. You know, Radhanath Maharaj, he says, humility is not part of devotional service. It is the heart of devotional service.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah. And in some scriptures, I cannot give you the exact reference where it is. It is said that humility, real humility, is almost equal to prema, almost equal to love of God. That's how powerful humility is, because it attracts the mercy of Krishna. Because you're acknowledging Krishna is great, I am small. So Krishna becomes more pleased to pour his mercy into such a humble devotee.
Yes. So just a clarification, Mataji, on that. We have mind and intelligence, right? So we were discussing about that yesterday. So just wanted to understand it better. So all these pride, lust, anger, everything is coming from the mind. So intelligence is always pure. Intelligence will never get contaminated. It's a mind that is material. Is that my right understanding?
No, no, our subtle body is all material. Mind, intelligence, false ego is all material only. But the intelligence is supposed to get purified by the power of transcendental knowledge and dictate to the mind to do and not to do. Unfortunately, our mind dictates to us what to do, what not to do, because we are still very conditioned, you know. Therefore, we must keep training our intelligence to not let the mind overpower the intelligence.
Okay.
Until it becomes fully purified. Mind, intelligence, false ego, everything has to be purified completely. Slowly, slowly that will happen. It is not an overnight thing. But intelligence must become fortified by the practice of Krishna consciousness, by our bhakti yoga, by our sadhana, by our hearing, especially hearing. Shravanam is very important, by our reading. and carefully following the order of the spiritual master, making that our life and soul. All these things will sharpen our intelligence, give us clear thinking, give us proper direction, and allow us to stay focused. And then we can, stop, ignore the chatter of the mind, because the mind is always going, chow, 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 24/7. But armed with yoga, stand and fight, as Krishna says to Arjuna. So with this bhakti yoga, we can resist the lower nature, because the mind is the repository of so many lifetimes. Remember, you change your body, but the same mind is coming with us, life after life after life after life after. So the subconscious level, there are so many things that we have to clear out. That is why chanting is most important. Quality chanting will clear all these anarthas. So chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare will purify us at all levels and make you blissful and happy.
Thank you very much, Mataji. Very nice.
Thank you, my dear Revati. My humble obeisances. Nice question. Jai Prabhupada. Jai Guru Maharaj.
Jai Guru
Thank
Maharaj.
you. Bal Krishna, Haribol. My humble obeisances.
No, my humble obeisance to see you, Mataji.
Jai Prabhupada. Jai Gurudev.
Jai Gurudev, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for a wonderful class. I think this is the first time I liked it that a bunch of Brahmanas got together, and instead of asking for the help of Kshatriya or something, they said, kill, and kill the bad guy. That was cool.
Yes, Brahmanas are very powerful.
Yes. So that king clearly underestimated his populace and his power and everything. That was hilarious. So I have a question, Mataji. Free will sucks. I have done more bad with my free will than good. So this is a problem. What to do, Mataji?
Say that again. I'm sorry, I didn't quite catch.
Free will. Free will is bad.
Yes.
Using free will, I have done more bad things than good things. Free will
Correct.
seems very bad. So this is a problem. Solve it, Mataji. Yeah. Yeah.
Even Krishna doesn't interfere with our free will. He's
Exactly,
so kind.
right.
He's such a gentleman. He doesn't want to force himself on us. He says, you come to me through love.
Yeah.
He gives you free choice to choose him or choose nonsense.
Right.
And now that we have come to Krishna consciousness, we are given this choice to choose something better than using our free will to do all nonsense. We have done that for millions of lifetimes, millions and millions and millions. And where has it got us? Just another body and the same old. Birth, disease, old age, death. Birth, disease, old age, death. Repeat, ad infinitum. So, we've been rotating in this cycle of birth and death for millions of lifetimes. Millions. And we have not even been in human form for all those lifetimes, because our soul has traversed all the 8,400,000 species of life and come to this form of life. And this is the only form of life which is the loophole to escape through this repeated birth and death. So therefore, grabbing this chance is real intelligence. Saying, no, I'm not going to go and again be all scrunched up in a womb and come out and pass urine and stool in diapers and cry for milk and go to school. And do homework. Oh my God, that's too much. For me, just the thought of going to school and doing homework is enough. No, Krishna. Don't put me to that again.
Yes.
So, we have had so much misery. And the scriptures describe how the baby in the womb is crying, bitten by worms and germs. He cries out, my dear Lord, when I come out, I will worship you. I will be your servant. I will serve you so nicely. Please don't let me forget. But when he comes out, he forgets. This is what has happened to us. But thankfully, somehow, in this lifetime, we have received mercy of Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
so much good fortune, so much mercy in this lifetime somehow by Lord Chaitanya's mercy. So we must cash in on it. This is our jackpot. We have made it, In this lifetime, somehow we have got great mercy because Lord Chaitanya doesn't come in every Kali Yuga. He comes once in 1000 Kali Yugas. In other Kali Yuga, he comes as God Narayan. And at the most, you can go to Vaikuntha. You cannot enter Goloka
Goloka
Vrindavan.
Vrindavan.
But here's our opportunity to like that. Yeah. So we really, have to cash in on this wonderful opportunity we have to use our free will to say Krishna, Krishna, Krishna all the way. Only Krishna. Keep, like the horse, they puts on blinkers like this, Don't look right, don't look left, don't just only Krishna.
Yes.
Like
Thank you so much, Mataji. Yeah, that makes sense. And I don't know anything, but I know this much. The parties in Goloka Vrindavan will be so much better than anything in Ramaloka or Vaikuntha Loka. It must be boring there. I want to be in Goloka Vrindavan dancing.
Very good. Take us all with you, okay? Don't
Yes,
forget
yes.
us.
No, you'll all be there first, Mataji.
Haribol. Thank you. Yes, that is our real home,
Yes.
not this place
Mhm.
where there's just danger at every step,
Yes.
Danger. Padam padam yad vipadam na tesham. Just danger at every step.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you. I just have to take this call. Just give me 1 minute. Bhagwan Narada Prabhu, I'm just finishing up one Zoom class. I'll join you in the other Zoom link in a few minutes. Please give me a few minutes. Okay, thank you. See, the time change has thrown me a little off track because now you guys are at a different time. I was thinking I still have half an hour, but I guess I miscalculated. Jai Nityananda ki Jai. Madan Gopal is sharing Lord Nityananda's picture. Akrodha Paramananda Nityananda Ram Abhimana Shunyanitai Nagare Bedai. Akrodha Paramananda. He is never angry. Akrodha Paramananda, most blissful, most happy Lord Nityananda. Akrodha Paramananda Nitya Abhimana Shunya Nitai. That means Abhiman means pride. Shunya, finished, no pride. Nagare Beda, he is going from door to door, distributing the holy name and saying, chant Hare Krishna and be happy. Isn't that wonderful?
Beautiful singing. Jai
Yeah.
Nitai.
Yeah.
Jai.
Wonderful, Mataji. Yeah. Akrodha, I like that. Maybe I should switch to Nityananda. I commit a lot of offenses. Maybe he'll be less mad at me. Yeah.
Yes, he's very merciful. He's very kind. He's very merciful. And he always wants to help the fallen soul. He's very merciful. If you chant the 12 names of Lord Nityananda every morning, first thing after you wake up, very soon you will get the mercy of Lord Gauranga. This is a fact. Nityanando, Avadutendur, Vasudha Prana Vallabha, Janvi Jivita Patihi, Krishna Prema Pradaha Prabhuhu, Padmavati Sutaha, Shriman Sachinandana Purvajaha, Bhavanmato Jagatrata Rakta Gaura Kalevaraha. These are the 12 names of Lord Nityananda. You can find it on the net. It's very easy. Don't
Yeah.
worry.
Okay. That's what I was saying. Can you post in God Family or something?
Yeah, it's very, I will, but it's very easy to find.
Easy to find. Google. Okay.
Yeah. If you chant these 12 names of Lord Nityananda, first thing, as soon as you wake up every morning, very soon Lord Nityananda will make sure you get Lord Gauranga's mercy. That is very, very wonderful blessing of Lord Nityananda.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Madan Gopal Prabhu ki jai ho. Please
My
accept my
obeisances to you, Jai Prabhupada, Jai Srila Gurudev. I
Jai.
just recently printed out those 12 names and I've been saying it at my job every day, not right when I wake up, but it's interesting you said that because I was inspired to say the 12 names almost every day, but I should do it every day. Hare
Yes.
Krishna.
Haribol. Thank you for sharing. Very nice, very nice. Lord Nityananda is so merciful, so kind, very magnanimous. Okay, nobody's saying anything. Sakshi, you have any questions, comments, realizations?
Hare Krishna Mataji, my humble obeisances to you and all the devotees assembled here. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much,
All
Mataji.
glories to Prabhupada, all glories to Gurudev. Thank you.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask, there is something called theoretical knowledge and something realized knowledge. So how do we make our consciousness receptive so that we, elevate ourselves from this theoretical to the realized knowledge?
That is by applying. That is by applying ourselves to the principles of Krishna consciousness. Then it no longer becomes theoretical, it becomes realized because now you experience Krishna's reciprocation. You experience what it is like to engage in devotional service. You experience what it is like to receive the love of devotees. Then it becomes realized knowledge. I still remember I was in Gita Nagari and I was in the kitchen with one very sweet Ashtanga devotee, Bhakti Tita Maharaj disciple, and I happened to cut my little finger. I said, oh, what a nuisance, because then you have to stop, you have to clean it. And I was just muttering to myself. And she stops what she is doing. She was the head cook. She goes running to the cupboard. She finds a band-aid and she comes and puts it on my finger with a big smile. I said, oh, you didn't have to do all that. I was so embarrassed that she stopped everything and she said, Krishna loves his devotees. I was so moved. I was so touched. And I realized, yes, Krishna loves his devotees and he's showing his love through this devotee. So it's no longer theoretical. Now I'm experiencing it, right? So the knowledge that Krishna loves his devotees becomes realized knowledge when you experience that. Similarly, I'm just giving an example. So like this, when we engage in the process of devotional, that is why Guru Maharaj is always saying, take up some service, take up some service, take up some service, because through that, we get connected. Real connection with Krishna is through devotional service. We can chant, but we must, what is the chanting? It is asking for service. So we must chant, we must engage in devotional service, we must hear carefully the scriptures, then it all comes together. Then it becomes realized knowledge because you are applying the principles, and it is not just head knowledge, it becomes heart knowledge because you are feeling in your heart Krishna's love and reciprocation, Guru's love and reciprocation. Then it becomes realized knowledge. Then you become very fixed and nobody can shake you. You say, I don't care what you say, I'm following Guru and Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. That's really very sweet. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. So we have anyone. Oh, okay, there's Srimati. Hare Krishna, Srimati.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you so much. Such a wonderful class and nice discussion by all of you. Thank you so much. There are no more questions. I think we can end the call.
Okay. Thank you so much, dear devotees. It is because of you that I come to life. The rest of the day, I'm half dead, morose, dull. But when Srimati says, give class, then I jump up. Oh, I'm giving class. Oh my God, I better read. I better get ready. Then I come to life. So you're giving me life. Thank you.
Thanks, Mataji. So,
Thank you so much, Mataji. Hare
thank you,
Krishna.
everyone.
Thank you very much, Mataji.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you all so much. Thank you,
But
Srimati.
you'll be enlivened one more month. Like you'll be all traveling and giving classes, so we're meeting devotees. So it will be exciting to you.
Yeah, I'm
Yes.
looking forward to that. Pray for me, okay?
Yes,
Mataji.
and please post those links, Mataji. Yeah.
Yes, I will. I
Yeah.
will. I will definitely. Whenever you can, it will be nice
Yeah,
to have
today,
you.
We'll catch up. Yeah.
yeah, today, Gurmaj gave class on Srila Prabhupada. We have posted.
Yes, I was hearing that all the way
Yeah.
until the last minute. I was
Yes,
hearing
Mataji,
what
I
a
was
class
inside.
it was.
So please listen to that class too. I'll share in the announcements group. It is in the God family group.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you so much. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa
Sindhubhyeva patitanam pavanebhyo
Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaste.
Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada.
Jai.
Thank you. Hare
Madan
Krishna.
Gopal Prabhu.